Hello again, this is your host Pros doing my Let's Play of the Second Sky, and apparently my glitching out CaravelNet was a server-wide thing. Everyone was having the same problem, and it just so happened to coincide with me wanting to complete the game. So, while that sucks, I'm back, and I think I got it all fixed now. So we've completed all of this stuff, I'm pretty sure. Everything looks done that I can tell. So I'm going to go to the lonely campsite and end the game.
The remaining days passed by without...
T-1. Okay, I think I can skip a lot of this.
I know a shortcut. The RCS made short work of the trip back to Dugan.
So we don't really need to do
carried
anything.
Flaming Facundo, what's
everyone's hanging out in Dugan's castle.
Underground by now.
Ah, Ether, I'm...
Nope, don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. Skipping all of this so fast. Skipping it, skipping it, skipping it. Seen it all before.
Please accept my apologies, Beathro, but we really were pressed for time.
Yikes.
Okay.
Things have changed.
So this is some new door. It's a hold
Wait a
complete
second.
door.
It looks like I have to hit those orbs all at the same time. But
Nope,
there's only
don't
one
need
thing.
to. I've done this before. I can skip this according to everyone, so I can just go right through to everything.
Here he comes.
Customer
Alright.
satisfaction.
Seems I have a show to put on, and I don't got all day.
Alright,
me.
alright, let's do this. Going. Okay, this should be the ending sequence.
It's time to wake up, Ark.
Bonus content.
Brother, I was dreaming of you.
I know. I could feel it.
It was such a good dream. It's good to see you.
You must be tired, sister. I'm sorry you were woken early.
The man with the sword?
Yes. Would you believe that astounding little man killed me? And yet he saved me.
Oh, is he going to die now?
I have no idea. It feels wonderful. No idea. I've never been so unsure.
I'm glad you found a way to be surprised, brother. Knowing all there is to know always chafed you. But I'm going to turn now. It's going to feel so good.
Hooray!
Sleep well, sister. You have no idea.
I was... Okay, that was beautiful. I was really happy with how this scene turned out. It was one of my proudest moments
Our plan had worked.
with the Second Sky. Or at least all the writing I did was like, we need something for the people who finished this. And I'm like, well, let's talk a little bit more about the Irunk. And
Just as old Pit Thing had predicted, a tough
His,
question had caused the vessels to overflow.
his sister, or the Pit Thing and his sister, the Irunk, they're
The
related.
vessels had spread
in
across the
some
eighth,
way.
and most everyone
Well, this
saw
is
our
kind of cool. I've
message.
never seen this before. This is neat. I wonder how they did this. It's like cutscene stuff moving. Huh. Alright.
Half and I had managed to put a stop to most of the patrons' nefarious schemes. Pretty much everyone on the surface made it safely underground.
That's good. Everything's falling into the sky. The skies are swapping around.
Now, we must make a new beginning.
Okay, okay. Hooray!
Hey, I just broke through. Come quick, sunlight.
Now we get a whole new trilogy of games on the other surface. I mean,
Our
what?
new home.
Yay! Hopefully this uploaded. We'll see if it actually ended up working. I guess I won't know for sure. I found 40 secrets. Oh, oh. This might take a second. Guess we'll see. Oh, no. Don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me. Try again. Oh. Maybe this is the one. It's taking a little longer. Huh? Huh? I mean, there are a lot to send. A future day. I didn't notice that before. Tap my fingers and wait. Talk about things that are cool. Like what? Like what? I'm just dancing to this music here. I'm just gonna hope this is okay now. And sit here, rattle my fingers, and see if it works. Or not. Maybe it won't. It's too much. I did too much. Too quickly. The server can't handle this giant upload. It's panicking. It's freaking out. It's freaking out. Huh? 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 No? You're not gonna do it? Oh my god, fine. Be that way. You're literally the worst. I mean, is it actually working? I'm gonna pause my video until it's done. Alright, it did it. Sweet. It just must have been, my internet's a little slow at the moment, so it must have been okay. And it looks like, if I do this right, I have been recognized as seeing the second sky, which makes me exactly the 100th Skywatcher. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's put this over here first. Anyway, so I did it. I made it to the end, sort of. It's a fact. I forget the words, but this is a great song. This is kind of a cool remix too. Did it play this before? I don't remember. Alright, so I can just skip to the end and all that jazz. I've made it. Hooray me. We don't really need to watch this. Okay, let's talk about story stuff. What happened there at the end? Beathor saved the everything, but I want to talk a little bit more about the pit thing and the Ironk. Because it's apparently confusing to a lot of, or just interesting. So yes, they're related. I kind of alluded to the whole time that they're two sides of the same sort of elemental force of signal and variation. And what the pit thing really wanted, or what the pit thing really feared the most beyond homogeneity, is a lack of surprise or omniscience, knowing everything there is to know. Like, that's really boring to him because he's a source of variation. Uncertainty is what he actually strives for, but he's like this being that is kind of everywhere at once. So how do you preserve this uncertainty? And I wanted to explore these themes of, like, that is his primary motivation, is he has this sister who sleeps most of the time. She's just a baby sister, or maybe not quite the same, who knows, but she sleeps a lot and he doesn't get to talk to her a whole lot, and it bothers him. This sister whose dream holds the world together and is this like elemental source of the rules and regulations of the Eighth. This dream that projects out from herself. And while she's sleeping, the pit thing gets bored and lonely, and he, like, think of it, if you knew everything there was to know and you didn't really have anyone to talk to that mattered because things were of no consequence, like, you would go insane. Because surprise and uncertainty and, like, accomplishing something when victory isn't certain, there is no reward in that. Just like this puzzle game we play, if we knew the answers before we went into the room, why would we bother to play them? Like, other than some OCD tendency, there's no drive there. There's no pushing towards an ultimate goal. I'm going to restore back to the lonely campsite. Oops, no, oops, 1 second. Lonely campsite, let's do this first room here. So yeah, that's the pit thing's motivation is the same motivation that, the same motivation that drives us to play the game to begin with, which is a very meta theme, if you think about it, where you have this person who wants to destroy knowledge so that, like, everything can be confined and consistent. Don't snore, Beathor, I'm telling a story. And the surfacers are...
this looks good.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. The surfacers are representative of this source of variation and uncertainty, especially Beathor. Where things that are, like, perfectly genetically modified and perfect, they still experience variance, but maybe the pit thing, like, generally wanted to save the surfacers out of not necessarily altruistic purposes, but selfish ones as well, because he thinks they're fun and enjoyable. And in the interim, where he gets a few minutes to talk to his sister while she wakes up and turns, because that's what she does, is she sleeps and he cares about her, he would have nothing left. He'd like have this really boring world that he could predict really well, because like there's no consequence or theme or sight or variation and in the Empire. Not as much that would be desirable to him. He wants to like maximize on that. Like, he wants to be uncertain. It's like a TV show or something. He's lonely, and people he can talk to that surprise him and delight him are good. And that's why he talks in metaphors. He likes being unclear, uncertainty. It moves him for people to try to figure out what he's trying to say. And this is like represented, made manifest, like in a more fundamental way, where like the opposite of this, like he is an avatar of this, like the opposite of this certainty is like it literally causes him harm, because this is just part of this thing that holds the aesthetic that is the Eighth together. At least that's how I kind of imagined him being. This isn't necessarily true. Eric will probably have the final say on this, but that's kind of how I wrote that scene with that in mind, was this pit thing. This pit thing has this, desire to push Beathrow so that he can accomplish this goal of not being effectively bored. And it's a puzzle for him as well. Like, I don't know. You see a lot of that, like the harder way text, which we haven't seen all of. We'll sort of like talk about that a little bit more. And things like that. And the Pharaoh child, there's really not much to say about her. I think I've talked enough about like why she takes her forms, like the Nth Analyst talks about that, and why the pit thing takes its form. I think they're pretty representative of their reflections of that sort of coin of signal and variance and certainty and confusion and centers and spread and that kind of thing. It's pretty much it's a way of like defining life as something more than like morals and laws and abject creations, but more like how, if left to go, like how does it express itself, and why do we do these seemingly pointless activities like solve puzzles in a puzzle game, because of the accomplishment and drive is related to how we survived as a race to begin with. It's overcoming even things that don't necessarily have a practical purpose, hold some sort of like societal and mental purpose that sharpens our proverbial tools in the same way. They're basically what caused us to, evolve as a species, is this sort of like pinning down of esotericness and escaping pragmatism for a moment to be abstract, so that when pragmatism was required, we survive a little better. And that's what those two entities represent as a more like abstract concept made manifest. So I don't know if there's any other questions at the moment. I'm gonna let people like catch up to this video. I'm gonna be moving at a much more slow pace probably at this point. I'm not even gonna like start talking or doing any other rooms at this. Oops. I guess I'm sending Room Conquer solutions to the server again. My internet's really slow right now. Anyway, the whole like if there's other questions you have about the plot, I know there was, if I had to like think of some places that I wish we'd filled in a little bit more, but maybe we'll do another time, is like the whole Jabowdley First Watcher thing was sort of glossed over. You see what happens there sort of a bit in piece when you're in the Cotton and Eddie beach portion. And maybe that's unsatisfying to a lot of people, because we didn't really talk about that a whole lot, like what happened in that early Empire setting. You get some of that in the Smite Master selections, and maybe I'll talk about that more, because I definitely use those as a lot of source material. Like, definitely Jabowdley had some journals, which were alluded to in, like, the caught with a really big stick or spear or something like that, one of those levels. Stuck with a really big stick. That kind of thing. So I don't know. I think Nuntar was asking about constructs and where they came from, like, why are there constructs in the security gates, who made them? No one knows, but obviously, I mean, someone might know, but since the construct warehouse exists and we know that the Empire is using constructs, it seems reasonable that the Empire can make the constructs, though they may not have been the original maker of constructs. But the reason they're at the security gates is the Empire thought to protect it from people actually like A1. So that's kind of or just other people in general, because they knew somehow someone figured out that you could actually wake the Ironk and turn her early, and they assumed that was a problem. Oops, I somehow like restored way back, or something weird happened. Oh, I must have restored way back to a really odd spot, so whatever. I'm gonna pretend this... whatever, okay. Oops, I guess. Anyway. So, yeah, put some questions in the comments, and I'll try to answer them as I go and fix my little save here as I go throughout the video. I'm sorry this is a short one. I have a lot to do today. I just wanted to get my Skywatcher achievement and call it a night. I hope you've all enjoyed the series so far. I will definitely be continuing doing all the secret rooms, all the bonus material, all the the magenta, purple, lavender levels, whatever. Lavender levels is a Discord hold, by the way, and you should play it. Anyway, yes, questions that you think I should answer. I'll try to continue talking about little things about the developmental process, what was in, what isn't in, what still remains to be answered, what maybe was a little hard to figure out as I think about it. But if you have some particular questions on your own, feel free to put them in the comments section, and I will do my best. Anyway, this has been your host, Pearls. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.